Hi, I'm Nadia from Caisse des Dépôts. I'm in charge of blockchain and crypto asset program. Caisse des Dépôts is a public financial institution dedicated to long-term investment and financing some public policy in France for more than 200 years now. And I'm also the chair of INADBA, International Association for Trusted Blockchain Application based in Brussels. In Caisse des Dépôts, we have dedicated a team working on the subject of blockchain and crypto since 2015. And we do that because we identify that those technologies had a transformative potential that could not be ignored, and also because there is some strong sovereignty issues for the European economies. And so we believe that Web3 is an opportunity to be seized, but we need to build trust in the ecosystem. And first of all, perhaps what for us it's Web3. Web3 is a new paradigm that brings together several existing concepts. Decentralization, we sometimes blockchain technology is the heart of the system, but not only. Tokenization of goods and services, change of ownership model, and now people manage their key, their assets, and all properties in NFTs, for example. And a point that is really important for me is also it's a collaborative economy. All the actors work together in the chain of value, and a lot of development are open source already, so the community can grow faster together. But in the decentralization world, we need trust, all. Not only in the Web3, but we will need trust. And citizens will be in charge of their own assets, and it means that they can lose their key, and they can get robbed also. There's a lot of security solution here, and it's good. It's a good thing, but it's not sufficient. And we need to build trust in the actors of the between the actors in the ecosystem, and it will be happen for us will three things. The first one, I think it's really important at that time for the ecosystem is to focus on useful use case in the real world. Building a balanced regulation and investing long term in the ecosystem. All is not happening in few months or on few years. We see all that we are working for now many years on the system, and the model is not stable for the moment. And if we focused first on the useful use cases in the real world, we see that the recent event with FTX, and not only FTX, was an example of what a bad company management can do, and also how we can be disconnected to the reality of that was this business. So we need more transparency on that, and it's one of the main principles of the business of the blockchain technology. And so we should also implement transparency and good governance in the companies of the ecosystem. I think it's a key point. And secondly, we need to focus how useful the innovation are to the customers, the user, and the citizen. It's I think for all of us, our first clients. So it's really important to be focused on that. And the innovation is going so fast in this world. And one of the points is that, and I remember last year here, we have a new concept every day. And I remember June, there is some roundtable on finance, and we are talking about TradFi, CFI, CDFI. So, okay, and when I began, there is only a Bitcoin, and after Ethereum, and we discuss about ICO, and after STO, and blah, blah, blah. And I think it could be useful also to be focused on some subject that will work, and we try to develop some points that are really working to go to the next one. Because what it seems for corporate and executive in companies like mine, if they feel that all these new concepts are here, to forget that the previous concept is not working. And really, it's very bad. Because it's not that, it's like that you are in a world with children, and your child is said to you something, and you understand that you are not really convinced by the thing, so you will go to the next thing and try again. It's not really serious, and you cannot build trust with that. So we need to be globally with the ecosystem focused on the point that could work, find the good business model, and be concentrated on that point. And what happened is that many companies mentioned that they have time to market program. So we need to grow a market before launch new services, and we are running on something that don't work. So we also need to educate, to onboard partners, to onboard customers, and for companies like us to onboard the top management. And it's not always really easy, because the top management or the government or the regulatory part always is the pain point. It's all the buzz that was done, for example, on FTX or other things. Thank you. I need to go quick. And another pain point, I think, it's that there is not many corporate companies in this room. And if we want to success, we need to work all together with corporate companies, small companies, and not only crypto companies. And we need to break this bubble. My second point was building a balancing regulatory framework in Europe. And we are working on that with MiCA. I think it's a good first point, working together with the European Commission, with the Parliament, and for example, with INADBA, we interact with the regulator and the policy maker, and only on and with something that we name the government advisory body that represents different international institutions, ministry, and others. And we submitted 10 propositions to amend the MiCA text, and now we have 8 of our propositions adopted. And to do that, we work with all the kind of members, and it works like this. So, and there is not only MiCA on the subject of Web3, but the importance, for example, of the IEDAS version 2 on all the topics of digital identity, that we launched, for example, the e-wallet for 24 is also important. All the new discussion that can appear on the NFT and metaverse also could be a good issue to go in a good way. And I know, because my time is counted very well by Stanislas, that finally another point is to invest in the long term to the ecosystem. We need to get, now we know that the market is unstable and speculative, and we need to work on a long-term perspective. It's what we are doing in Caisse des Dépôts, because we are a very, very old company, always working like this. But we need to have that also in other entities and corporate. For that, you need to have investment in team, investment in project, and not looking only on a return on investment on few months, on few years, because it will not true. And if you look at the recent study of the Gartner, you will see that they said that maturity we will have maturity only on 6 or 8 years on Web3. So it's a very long-term commitment for people who are looking for a return on investment. And for even big industries is very long at this time. So it's time, or it's okay? I can go on? Okay. So Web3 is something that there is a lot of concept in. I think we have some keys in Europe to win. We have some keys to make Web3 trusted for people and even for citizens. And we have opportunities to be a champion. And my final point, just my final point, it's we not forget one point that it's just very important. It's not to forget the ESG aspect, because the climate change is a very good point. And we need to have a resilient ecosystem for the long term. And regarding also the impact on the social impact of our innovation, including all the people and the climate change. Thank you.